I just express how much I dislike Target exclusives? I mean, I hate exclusives on figures in general, but Target really gets on my nerves because they only operate in the US, which means that I have to guess on where their exclusives end up at. And in the case of Sonic figures, I have to worry about them showing up at EB Games because they always end up sending just one random figure in a wave if you order online, and then I gotta go to the stores manually to check each one to see if they have it in stock. Point is, like with the Werehog, I wasn't going to leave picking up the new DCX Sonic Amy up to chance, so off to eBay I went, once again to pay obnoxiously higher prices, and I once again have to say, don't pay those prices, they are way too high. Getting to the topic at hand, though, I really did enjoy the DCX Sonic crossover comic that released this year. It was a fun 5-issue series that was simple and straight to the point. Characterization was great, the art was fantastic, and all of those cool and unique moments between two franchises that you'd expect from something like this. Needless to say, the announcement of Jakks-Pacific making figures based off of when the Sonic cast gets stuck in the DC universe and temporarily take the roles of the Justice League was something I was very much interested in, especially since they're a continuation of the 5-inch figures that started with the third movie line. Amy is the first one I've gotten, with the plan being to get the others in the 4-pack, and I've gotta say I really like her, but there are some issues here. Nothing too bad, thankfully, but there are a few things that need to be pointed out. As far as the sculpt is concerned, Jakks has done a great job at adapting Amy's Wonder Woman design, with one very noticeable problem: the lack of a cape. It's a strange omission, especially since the 2.5-inch version does have it. Though I suppose customizers will at least be able to have some fun making a cape for her. Truthfully, the lack of a cape doesn't bother me that much, but what does is the head sculpt. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad head sculpt at all, there's just two things I take issue with. One is just a simple QC mishap, as the top of her nose on my copy isn't painted. Oops. Issue number 2 though is her neutral expression. I just feel like this doesn't really capture Amy's personality, and seeing how Sonic was given a smirk on his figure, I find it odd they didn't give Amy a cheery smile like they did on the 4-inch figure. Finally, there's the lack of a hammer. It's Amy's quintessential weapon, and given the later movie 3 figures did come with some accessories, its omission here is rather noticeable. But for all of my issues, none of them really hold this figure back too much. Sure, I may want her to have a different expression, but this is still a fantastic head sculpt, missing nose paint notwithstanding. The rest of the sculpt is also great, as mentioned previously, and since this is a 5-inch figure, Amy has all of the fantastic posability the previous movie figures have, all for the low price of $23 Canadian. And hey, since she's a 5-inch figure like the movie line, she actually scales pretty well with the McFarlane Year 1 Batman I have. Guess this means I need to make a McFarlane Justice League for these Sonic figures to go with, but that's a story for another time. Yes, there are things that hold this figure back, but I still think for the price you're paying, Amy is absolutely worth picking up. Just make sure not to be an idiot like me and get her at regular retail price, and you should be more than satisfied. And with all that being said, we're at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.